Hey, what's good, everybody? It's Thursday evening. You know what time it is. It's your man, Dame DNYDC, host of the Two Mics Up podcast. Back again, live tonight. And I'm excited, man, to really have this conversation. I think for anybody out here, who's watching or listening, if you have a young entrepreneur or up and coming entrepreneur in the family, I think tonight's episode is a great starting point. If you're interested on elevating yourself and gaining some knowledge on how to move forward and operate a successful business. Now, before we get to that and tonight's guest, that was a nice little tease there. I want to go ahead. I want to jump in. We're doing some things this month, Black History Month. We're going to have a couple of authors, tonight. We have an author on, and we're going to jump in next week, Monday, on Valentine's Day. We're going to sit down, and this is episode 80, y'all. We coming down the back stretch of season 3, another a great season. But we're going to have Arshil Monsanto. She's an author out of the Houston area. She wrote a book, Kids in Cuffs: Striving for Equity and Empathy in Education. Great conversation we had with Arshel, myself, and Melissa, and I hope you really enjoy this episode on Monday. I know Super Bowl's coming up, Valentine's Day, but when you get back into your regular routine, on Tuesday, definitely take a moment to sit and listen or watch that episode. I mean, it's a really dope conversation, and I'm really excited about that as well. So as I was saying, how to start and operate a business. So tonight's guest, you know, Prince. Prince Nana. His brother is working hard, working through the pandemic and doing a whole lot of things. And he found, I think, a very useful way to use his time to help others. And that's what we're really about here on Two Mics Up. But before I continue, I want to take a moment. Prince, could you take a moment and introduce yourself to everybody and give us a little background history about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Prince, and I'm the founder, CEO, and author. I'm the founder of Mayfair Delivery Corporation. We are a same-day delivery express logistic services company in the DMV.
Okay.
We are headquartered in Woodbridge, Virginia, and we do a lot of express truck and delivery. And we are looking to expand our network with other contractors. So we welcome all truck drivers and van carriers to give us a shout out and see what we can do together.
And I love that. I love that. We all about networking here, y'all. We connect the dots, network, reach out, man, reach out to this brother as he's working to build uh his his delivery services corporation. And like I said, the special thing is he's an author too. He took some time out to really write a book, which we're going to get into. But before we even get into all that, I want to start have a little fun. It's Thursday night. Usually on Thursday, man, we like to get all up in your business. So I'm going to ask a few questions, man. Jump up in your business. So you already told us, you're from, well, you're located in the Woodbridge area, Woodbridge, Virginia area. But are you from the Woodbridge, Virginia area?
So no, originally I'm from Hasville, Maryland.
Okay.
Um, but my mother, in my teenage years, she got remarried and moved to Woodbridge with my stepdad. So I started, coming back and forth from Maryland to VA. And from that time, I just got more into entrepreneurship because I was moving around so much and just wanted to know how I can, use my time wisely and be more useful when I was in motion.
I could dig that. I could dig that. Don't time is money, and you got to maximize that time to make that money. So I'm curious then. So you shared a interesting piece about your childhood. Moving and moving back and forth and things like that. So can you share maybe what was your childhood like? Ups, downs, goods, bads, or anything in your childhood that helped mold you to become the man that you are today?
Yeah, so during my childhood years, I was living in Maryland. My mother lived in Silver Spring. My dad lived in Hasville, and I was back and forth through there um, throughout my, high school and uh, just like adult teenage life years or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had a lot of friends in the community because I moved so much. I was getting to meet so many people, but I didn't have any real solid, like deep relationship with anyone particular, except family and like a few close friends that I went to school or church with that I knew
Mm-hmm.
their family.
Right.
So from there we'll just build on ideas and you know the possibilities of us coming together as a community or as a neighborhood or as brothers or sisters or just people want to do something for their community, be able to provide for their family, take care of their mom and dad one day, you
Mm-hmm.
know, really having some ambition and drive, but being so young and not knowing how you're going to go about being able to accomplish these type of goals.
Man, I really love that because you're saying a lot of things that really what our platform is about, and I think that's why we talked and we connected. I was really impressed, that this is not a dying art or a dying thing, that there are still young men and women out here in the community that really want to do better, want to give back, and really understand the importance of giving back and helping others. So I really appreciate you, sharing that, with those who may be listening or watching. Man, that's really key. I'm gonna go a little bit further and get in your business then. So Prince likes to listen to what type of music? Whether he driving or chilling, whatever. What's your go to?
Um, you know, I'm a 95.5, 93.9, DMV station type of guy when I'm riding around to keep it 100. But every now and then I might tune into YouTube and just check out the latest from like Rose or Meek or Jay Z or ASAP or Kanye or Snoop. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
A nice mix up, and then listen to Go Go. You know what I'm saying?
I can dig
So
it.
yeah, just keep a DMV and a little bit of interstate, a little bit of local global. Just
Eh,
like part of my horizon basically.
ain't nothing wrong with that. I feel you on
Mhm.
that. So when you dealing with situations, sometimes we all come into these situations, and I don't want to call them conflict, but sometimes we have stressors that we really come to deal with, and a lot of times, man, like I know for me, like man, I ain't got no time. I ain't got no time for this right here, or it could be a person or people that we deal with. So what is it that Prince has no time for?
For me, I have no time for lies.
Okay.
You know, because lies is just a time just wasted trying to we go deeper into a deeper problem when we could have been working towards a greater goal as solving a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So lies lead to more problems rather than solving them.
Mm.
So if you can't be honest, you're working twice as hard just to put yourself in the same bind,
Okay.
and it don't make no sense because there's no outlet in trapping yourself.
Mm. Yeah, I like that, bro. You went a little deeper on that one, so I appreciate you, man, sharing a part of yourself with our audience, man. I think it's really important. When you're introducing people and getting to know people, get in their business a little bit, man. Get to know them a little bit better. Try to get into who they are, and I appreciate you, playing along with us, man, and our audience, man. I really appreciate that. So I want to jump in. So you talked about your delivery service. you know, Talk about how Mayfair Delivery really all came about. What was the concept, the thought, the plan, and how did all of that come to fruition?
So Mayfair Delivery Corporation, this express delivery company, came about when my first introduction to like entrepreneurship and having my own business. I started a company which I'm still using as my subsidiary called Mayfair Electronics Corporation,
Okay.
and with that one we held some patents and um, which are currently not in use right now, but we still hold the titles and have already been issued the patents for them.
Mm,
Yeah, so we have two technology patents in our portfolio as a company, and these are 20-year plus patents.
mm,
This has to do with like renewable charging and battery power and solar technology and renewable technology.
okay.
and then the other one has to do with like point of sale, um, like QR coding and fast checkouts directly from like your screen. So we're putting up a corporate challenge for that where like NFTs and cryptocurrencies, you should be able to check out at online retail stores
Mm-hmm.
with your money from that form of payment.
Hmm.
So that's what we're kind of looking into in terms of technology, including the book we just put out. It kind of builds on entrepreneurship on that AI, um, advanced technology, solving problems for societies, and making entrepreneurship a global and an exchangeable way for like people coming from China or Asia or Australia or Europe or the UK. This book that we put out there, any international businessman or woman or family that wanted to do business in the US can pick up this book and understand it and be able to apply the information to be able to set their business up with no problem,
Mm.
as well
So
as here in the US as well. So there's a type of technology and patents and stuff we build on in our portfolio.
I'm glad because before we even get into the book, so you bringing up some things that a lot of people, not only in our community but really abroad, really are not familiar with. But how is it, or how did you put your team together to be able to decide that, this is the way that we need to move? Is it based on, the work that you're doing in the logistics industry that really propelled you, or forced you to have to look further or into other opportunities or other avenues? Like, because a lot of people wouldn't understand, how, why or how to go out and get a patent or look to do QR coding, for NFT. So I just want to kind of dive in, if you can, just a little bit, like, what was that, and who on your team, or where did that come from, that concept and idea to have that forward thinking? Because a lot of us don't really have that in our portfolio, or in our pocket, to even have the foresight to do that.
So because of our interest in technology and innovation, we pretty much focus on current events and startups, and what's global, not just only in the U.S., but we search global news and global information, global technology, because we are global economy, and we are
Mm-hmm.
all about globalization. So we don't limit ourselves to information or news. And with that, we're able to follow the trends that are moving and see how we can find ways to meet with that technology at the force of this new wave of process and payment.
Mm-hmm.
And people love it because there is no limit of how much you can possibly deposit or remove from your account at certain times.
Right. Man,
So
that's pretty dope, man. Like I said, I find it interesting. I was having a conversation with a gentleman the other day, who works in insurance. Actually, one of our sponsors here on the show, Cliff over at TD3 Insurance. If y'all in the need for PNC insurance, man, check out Cliff over at TD3. But that was one of the things he was talking about. Is even in the insurance field, how you have a shift in the industry where you have these new wave companies that, they're 5-star rated or A+ rated, but they do different. They do business differently now. It's based on the new model of everybody wants everything instant. So now you can process your paperwork and everything digitally online. Now you don't have to wait for an adjuster to come out. You can go ahead now. You take the pic. You download the app. You take the picture. You send the app. I mean, the picture in of the accident to somebody who you might be in here in the DMV, but the adjuster is out in Kansas City. And so all of these things are making it easier for people to be able to maneuver, where a lot of people, maybe my age or older, we're from that old school, with certain companies that still do things, do paperwork. You still have to physically go to an adjuster. You have to go to their shop. So I just find it interesting, and I like this trend that, where we're shifting as a nation, and like you say, globally, um, forward thinking, and some of us are just going to have to catch up. So I do want to ask, though, before we actually jump further into the book itself, with the impact of COVID, I'm just curious to know, how have you been able to navigate through these tough times, as a logistics provider?
So of course everybody knows COVID was shutting down doors left and right. Um, when we caught on to at the early stages, all we said was to ourselves, if this is going to continue, we'll find ways to work more locally
Mm,
with companies rather than overextend our reach because we don't know what they're dealing with as far as vendors or partnerships.
right.
So we took the head start and leap of faith to stay more local and grounded and focus more of what entrepreneurship in our own communities were doing.
Mm,
And from there, networking with you and other big companies, Sherwin Williams, Make Space,
okay.
American Expedite, and all these companies in our portfolio that we get delivery agreements and contracts from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is grown with them very much that we're looking to expand just a little bit more by staying more local and centrally focused as growing as a brand and as a company with other companies that are able to provide services in terms of marketing,
Mm-hmm.
communication, advertisement. And so our reach and our base got stronger.
Well, I
And
mean
with a
that.
strong foundation, you're able to build on something more.
So,
And we took that advantage of growing locally.
and I don't mean to cut you. So, I mean, and that's what I really want to focus on. So, you're finding though. I mean, because I'm looking at the housing market and how things have been with people buying homes and relocating and things like that. Just here in the DMV area, has that also helped with you, like you said, building a stronger market here locally? With this housing boom that kind of hit this area as well.
So with that part of like the logistics, we was getting a lot of calls from like people who had their services or their items or their products or their office or household items and storages.
Mm,
So a lot of storages who are local in the DMV, real popular, well-known global companies that have warehouses and storages in the DMV. We had customers call us and tell us, hey, we have this in this storage housing unit in DC or in Maryland or Virginia at this location. Can you send a team out and go pick it up and bring it back to our new home?
mm,
So in that regard, yes, we did see a lot of business mature and give us growth in our logistics and moving service side of our business. And
mm,
we was getting a lot, and most of our customers, all their items was stored in the storage housing. So
mm-hmm.
storage housing and that sector of as an industry produced a lot of outcome and good work for us as well as warehouses because we still work with big companies that we go to different warehouses all day throughout the week to pick up loads and send them across state to state or sometimes local as
Yeah.
far as New York or even as down far south to Atlanta.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's what's up, man. I mean, like they say, you got to be creative and really be able to pivot. And I was just curious, sometimes we get stuck in a focal point, and sometimes before it's too late, we're trying to pivot and figure out what happened. But I'm glad to hear that through this pandemic, you kind of worked and you not necessarily you didn't expand, but by centralizing your base and focusing on things at hand, kept you afloat and kept you successful through these tough times. So I'm glad to hear that. So what I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back. We'll come back out the break. And we're going to talk about this brother's book, How to Start and Operate a Successful Business. This is the trusted professional step-by-step guide. So we're going to take a pause for the cause, and we'll be right back after the break. I want to allow our sponsors to jump on in, man, and y'all check them out. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we back. It's your man Dame DNYDC sitting here with our guest Prince Nana, author and CEO of Mayfair Delivery Corp. So as you all can see, I'm back here. I'm back with the book, How to Start and Operate a Successful Business. This is a step-by-step guide. Now, what I will say is I've had the pleasure of going through the book and reading the book. And before I really give my thoughts and what I feel, I want to ask you, Prince, you know, talk to us about the book. How you got started. What was the drive, the thought behind it, and what was the intent really. What was your vision, for writing the book.
Absolutely. So, just before we went to commercial, you spoke about how we was able to grow our foundation and was able to obtain customers and have success in business collectively using our technology and our patented technology and resourceful and renewable technology, information and communication and marketing and IT and all this, different things we do within our company. And so from that, we were able to construct this book from the step by step on how to build a business, because we know the entrepreneurship market in that space is a global marketed space. And we know that we have a lot of international business owners, multi-millionaires and billionaires that want to do business in the US but may have not ever traveled to even in the US before.
Hmm.
And also US residents domestically that want to know how to successfully take their business international.
Right.
So it's like a demand between domestic and global and vice versa from their side to ours. So we sought out to create this book, to give step by step, backed by the U.S. government and the IRS and you know state of incorporation and just real taxable, practical, standard format of how to build a business.
Hmm.
This is called what we believe to be business intelligence.
Right.
And so with this is like a blueprint and a blue chip type business where we're able to um, provide a product in form of a service that can enlighten, many entrepreneurs as well as extend a business owner's current business and who is seeking to grow, go to that next level, understanding all the information and technology that is tangible for them within this information that we have in our book.
Man, look, what I will say. So for those, and that's why I say, anybody that knows a young entrepreneur or anyone who's looking to start a business, I think this is it's a good read. It's an easy read. I think that's the most important thing. It's not a monster of a read. I think it's very easy. It's very precise, from a person who has had the benefit and opportunity of starting not one but two businesses and really looking through and reading through it. I would suggest anybody that's just curious or just wants to have some additional knowledge, some additional references. Um, you definitely want to go out and purchase this book. I think it's something that you should have in your library. It should be something that you lean on to and refer to as a refresher, especially if you're in the early stages. If you're very early on in your journey, I think this is a great book. And that's just my take. So, what I do want to ask Prince. So, for someone listening to us talk here, what would be one nugget, like one tip that you could share with a new business owner, to help them on their way to becoming maybe a successful entrepreneur or businessman?
So entrepreneurship, as you know as well, because you are one yourself, has to do with um, relationship building.
Hmm.
Um, it has to do with having, a good intent towards your service or what you're providing for the people. You're not just doing it for a quick payout or a quick paycheck, but
Right.
something that you can work on that you no longer have to work hard for.
Right.
So entrepreneurship is about developing in a way where you let technology work for you rather than you work for technology.
Mm. I really like that. That's a very good saying. What's happening, sis? Good evening, Melissa. Thank you for joining us. Um, so with that, then with this amazing conversation, what as we're looking to move forward and close out, I'm curious to know, what's next and what else can we expect not only from Prince Nana the person, but Prince Nana the entrepreneur. What else are we looking for? What else can we expect from you in the near future? What's your 5 year? Let's just say, what's your 5 year plan or vision?
Oh man. Well, only the Lord knows. 5 years from now, what truly comes about. But 5 years from now, we're hoping to at least have ownership in an apartment complex or two
Okay.
as part of our management and corporate holdings
Okay.
in the real
I'm not,
estate industry.
I'm not mad at that, man. Look, grow, keep growing, and keep developing, keep redesigning and rebranding and rebuilding yourself, man. I think that's a goal for many of us as entrepreneurs. So I would be remiss if I did not ask you to, one, share your social media information, and two, please share where anybody who, I see some of you in the weeds and in the wings, anybody watching or anybody who may tune in later or listen later can go to find you, support you, and most importantly, go out and support you by buying this book. I mean, you guys definitely want to go ahead and add this to your library.
Absolutely, man. So definitely go get the books. Um, you know, we care about the economy. We care about putting food on the tables and keeping our lights on in our homes, in our families' homes, in our businesses, in our communities. We care about all those things, and then also being able to grow as a business, whether you're a startup or entrepreneurship. I mean, an entrepreneur growing in your entrepreneurship. We want you to be able to have the intelligence, the business intelligence that is in today's market, and we're providing that. This is equivalent to like the Nasdaq or the S&P or the Dow Jones of the market
Mm,
type of information. So anyone who picks up this book will gain that insight of information and be able to extend their business and do more business with more people. And we just want to also grow in our share as a market space, being a good
mhm,
provider of such a service, and also take on requests um, for different ways of topics or things that our audience may have interest in. We'll be willing to gather that information and put it and package it and have it available upon demand. So we
okay.
want to be able to educate and grow, and also as we grow, support our communities and build businesses and help more entrepreneurs grow and see their dreams come true and feed their families and do more.
Mm,
So we're not limited to any one lane. Entrepreneurship is in all forms. And if you get this book, we believe you're gonna be able to see where your skill set rests and in what industry a person chooses, and how they can use our book to grow in their own market, in their own industry, without having to change lanes or do anything outside their um, uncomfortable level.
like that.
Yeah.
All right. So where can we find? Well, where can we follow you and find you online? Your social media. Where can they go find buy the book?
Okay, so the book is on bookbaby.com, Amazon, Apple Books, Amazon Kindle, uh, Bookazine, Books a Million, Barnes and Noble, all book retailers worldwide. So this book is worldwide It's global. Um, you can check out my Facebook at Prince Nana. That's my official Facebook. On my IG is Casino Dinero. That's CASHINODINERO. And so Prince Nana on Facebook and Casino Dinero on IG, on Instagram. So you can check me out there, drop a message, drop a question. If you have any networkings or any vendor events or anything you want to partner up and work on, please feel free to contact us.
Mm. All right, y'all. Y'all heard it here. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna run that one more time. You can see it right here where you can go purchase the book. You got Prince's information, which we'll go ahead and we'll work. After make sure we drop that information here down in the comments below for you all to be able to reach out to Prince directly. Any networking, any business ventures, any partnerships, that's what we're all here for. And that's what Two Mics Up is all about bringing stories and entrepreneurs and business owners such as Prince, here to you, man. And really, like he said, man, I couldn't have said it any better. We're all about community here on Two Mics Up. Anything that we can positively do to positively impact our community to make things better, man, that's what we want to do. So I thank you all for joining us tonight. You know, play this back if you have to gain the information. Watch it, on YouTube. You can follow Two Mics Up online at www.twomicsup.com. You can follow us across all of our social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Two Mics Up. And if you haven't done it already, make sure you go ahead, you go down there, you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell before you leave so you can be notified about all the newest content coming to you from us here at Two Mics Up. And like I said, episode 80, y'all, that's dropping Monday. We on the back half. We're going to start rolling out new sponsorship opportunities for season 4. We have some new things in the works. We're kind of changing what we are here, Two Mics Up. It's not just a podcast. This is becoming an experience. This is becoming an internet and maybe a TV experience. Y'all stay tuned. Like I said, man, we just look forward to continuing bringing you all the best content here in the DMV and abroad. So, like we always do at this time, stay safe, stay blessed. Mike's out.